You know, earning passive income with your crypto? It just sounds like the dream, doesn't it? The idea that you can just sit back and let your digital assets do all the work for you. But in the wild world of decentralized finance, what we all call DeFi, there's this kind of hidden, sneaky little trap that can catch you off guard even if you know what you're doing. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain, break down exactly what this trap is, and more importantly, how you can sidestep it. All right, let's get into it.
So let's start with the big question. How can you actually make money in crypto if you're not just trying to, buy low and sell high? Well, one of the most popular ways is to become what's called a liquidity provider. It's a super important job in the DeFi world, and it's really the key to unlocking those passive income streams everyone's talking about.
I want you to think about it like this. You're basically becoming a part owner of a tiny little toll booth on this massive crypto superhighway. Every single time someone drives through and needs to swap one type of token for another, using your booth, you get a tiny piece of the action, a little piece of the fee. You help provide the road, and you get paid for all the traffic. Pretty cool, right?
And that, my friends, is exactly what a liquidity provider, or an LP for short, actually is. You take your crypto, you deposit it into a big shared pool with other people, and that pool becomes the liquidity that lets thousands, even millions of trades happen super smoothly every single day. And for providing that service, you earn fees. Sounds simple enough. So, to make this really concrete, let's just build our own little liquidity pool, step by step.
Okay, for our example, we're going to use two absolute heavy hitters in the crypto space, ETH, which is Ethereum, and USDC, which is a stablecoin that's pretty much always worth exactly $1.
Now here's the main rule for these pools. You have to deposit an equal value of both assets. So for our example, let's say the price of one Ethereum is $2,000. That means we'll deposit one ETH, and to match that on the other side, we need to deposit $2,000 USDC. See? $2,000 on each side, perfectly balanced.
And there you have it. We've put our 1 ETH and our 2,000 USDC into the pool. Our total initial investment is a nice round $4,000. Now, if the world were perfect, we just lean back, kick up our feet, and watch the trading fees roll in. But, and there's always a but in crypto, the market doesn't stand still, and that's where things start to get a little tricky.
Because here's the reality of crypto. Prices are always moving. And this price movement, which feels amazing when things are going up, actually creates that hidden risk we've been talking about for liquidity providers. This is the trap.
So let's imagine ETH has an absolutely incredible day. The price just skyrockets from $2,000 all the way up to $3,000. Now, if you were just holding that ETH in your wallet, you'd be popping the champagne, right? But because your ETH is inside that liquidity pool, something totally different is happening behind the scenes.
This is the core mechanic you have to understand. To keep the value of both sides of the pool perfectly balanced, the smart contract, the code that runs the pool, automatically starts selling the asset that's going up. So as your ETH becomes more and more valuable, the pool is selling off little bits of it in exchange for USDC to keep that 50-50 value split.
Okay, so you go to check on your investment and you see something strange. You don't have one full ETH anymore. Nope. You now have about 0.8156 ETH, but you have more USDC. Now you've got 2,449 of them. The pool did its job. It rebalanced your assets for you.
So let's do the math on the total value. Your smaller amount of ETH is now worth about $2,449, and your bigger pile of USDC is worth the exact same. Add them together, and your total investment is now worth almost $4,900. Hey, you started with $4,000, so that's pretty nice profit. So what's the problem here?
And this is the multi-million-dollar question. What if you had done nothing? What if you had just ignored the pool and left that 1 ETH and 2,000 USDC sitting in your own wallet? Let's run those numbers.
Okay, simple math. If you had just held on, your 1 ETH would now be worth a cool $3,000. Your 2,000 USDC would still be worth $2,000. Your grand total would have been $5,000.
And there it is. That's the trap in plain sight. In the pool, your money grew to $4,898. But just by holding it, it would have grown to $5,000. You are behind by $102. That difference, that missed opportunity, that is impermanent loss.
It's a really weird name, I know. Impermanent loss. The key is that it's not a real loss like your balance went down from 4,000. It went up. It's a loss of potential profit compared to just holding. It only becomes a permanent loss if you pull your money out at that exact moment. So the real question becomes, how on earth do you deal with this?
Well, this is where things get really interesting, because new technology is stepping in to solve this exact problem. Platforms like DexFi are now using artificial intelligence to tackle impermanent loss head-on. It's like instead of you having to manage everything, you get your own personal AI manager working for you 24/7.
Actually, the way the source material explains it is fantastic. They say to think of DexFi's AI, they call it AiLM, as a super smart candy stall manager at a busy fair. It's constantly watching the crowds, seeing which candy is most popular, and moving things around to make sure you're selling the most and making the most profit.
So what is this AI manager actually doing? Well, for starters, it never sleeps. It is watching prices constantly. Second, instead of just spreading your money out evenly, it concentrates your liquidity right where the most trading action is happening. That means more fees for you. And third, and this is the crucial part, if the market starts to move, it automatically repositions your assets to keep you in that profitable sweet spot. The bottom line here is just automation. It totally takes away the need for you to be glued to your screen, staring at charts, trying to guess which way the market is going to go next. The AI just handles all those complex, split-second decisions for you.
And what all this leads to is just a better system. The entire goal of using an AI like this is to create a smarter, way more efficient way to earn that passive income we all want, but with a whole lot less of the risk. So why is this strategy so effective? Well, first, by keeping your liquidity focused in that hot zone, you capture way more trading volume, which means more fees in your pocket. Simple. Second, by moving your position automatically, it helps you dodge those huge price swings that cause that nasty impermanent loss. And finally, of course, you get your time and your sanity back. You don't have to watch the market like a hawk.
Here's one last analogy for you, and it's a great one. Using something like this is like upgrading from a stick-shift car to a full-on self-driving car in a really fast-paced trading game. The AI just keeps you on the perfect path, navigating all the crazy twists and turns of the market while you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. And that really is the big takeaway here. When you boil it all down, the whole point of a system like this is to maximize the good part of being a liquidity provider, which is the passive income from fees, while actively fighting against and minimizing the bad part, which is the risk of impermanent loss. It's really about getting more of the reward with less of the risk.
Which, it leaves us with a pretty massive question to think about. As the DeFi space gets more and more complex, and these markets move faster than any human possibly can, is this kind of automated AI-driven management not just a cool feature anymore, but the actual future for anyone who seriously wants to earn passive income in crypto? It's definitely something to chew on.